Welcome back to Top Books. In today's video, we'll run down the top 5 books on success and why they're a must-read. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to turn on notifications. Right, time for Top Books on Success. At number 5 is The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. The 4-Hour Workweek is a life-changer, tried-and-true self-help book by American writer, entrepreneur, and educational activist Tim Ferriss. This unconventional look on achieving success has dominated the New York Times bestseller list for over 4 years. It has sold a whopping 2.1 million copies around the world since it was first published in 2007. Ferriss bases his book on his personal experience after working 14-hour days at his sports nutrition supplement company, and finally deciding that enough is enough. That success isn't just a paycheck. It's having a fulfilling life of travel, leisure time, and limited work time. To achieve this, he developed the 4 hours a week system, and in this book, he hands us the metaphorical key to an escape plan to get away from a mundane and overworked routine. Ferriss has one word of advice for you: deal. This stands for definition, elimination, automation, and liberation. His plan lays out a new, untraditional detail that not many have considered, and the first is to delegate smaller tasks to virtual assistants. Virtual assisting is a booming business that provides business opportunities around the world, and as Ferriss described, it only costs you $4 to $15 per hour depending on the task. Limiting email time is essential to Ferriss, as well as knowing how to manage your time and being efficient and effective to the best of your capabilities. This allows you to someday comfortably reach your goal of retirement and appreciating the value of time over the value of money. At number 4, we have The Magic of Thinking Big by David Shwartz. Success is determined not so much by the size of one's brain as by the size of one's thinking. Are you curious about what Forbes called one of the greatest self-help books? The Magic of Thinking Big is a powerhouse of a book ahead of its time. It popularized the idea that positive thinking can go a long way into improving your life. Originally published in 1959, it has inspired millions of people, including Thomas J. Stanley, who would go on to write the best-selling book The Millionaire Next Door. This book is for anyone who feels like they've reached a stagnant point in their lives, or are having negative thoughts or lack confidence in themselves or their endeavors. Unlike the other books on our list today, which largely focus on professional and personal success, and in the case of our number 1 book, invaluable advice that the world's 7th richest person swears by, so stay tuned for that. Right now, at number 4, we have The Magic of Thinking Big, and it's that grandfatherly wisdom type of advice that gives you a well-needed confidence boost. The point it stresses on the most is having the right attitude. If you change the way you think about yourself into a more positive view, regardless of your upbringing, economic status, and social standing, you'll find your life changing. Some of Schwartz's points focus on disciplining yourself out of making excuses. He calls it the excusitous disease. He also stresses the fact that confidence is not an inherent skill, but one that is gained through experience. The people we surround ourselves with are also directly proportional to our way of thinking, and tells us we should search for positive people who will support you through your success, professional and personal. At the end, belief triggers the power to do. Schwartz believes that if you have the right attitude and the will to make yourself successful, you'll find a way to cement your place on the top of the world. At number 3 is The Compound Effect paperback by Darren Hardy. From the successful publisher of Success Magazine and Success Media, Darren Hardy offers a step-by-step guide on how to get your life together and achieve the success you want. The Compound Effect was published in 2010 and was inspired by years of working with ultra-successful people like Jeff Bezos, Donald Trump, Steve Jobs, Richard Branson, and Warren Buffett. For more on Buffett's success, check out our number 1 book on success. It's a game changer. Hardy's Success Bible takes you by the hand and answers all your questions about how to drop toxic habits and implement healthy and ambitious goals instead. According to Hardy, it's the little everyday decisions that affect your destiny. You will never change your life and your outlook on life until you change your daily habits. One of the best things about this book is that it firmly tells you there is no such thing as overnight success and quick wins. Success is rewarding, but it's also earned through hard work. Hardy's book heavily takes after Aesop's principle of the tortoise always beats the hare. You're in for a long-term self-development plan. We're talking about improving work ethics, personal relationships, and tracking yourself. Just to give you a sneak peek, that involves taking 100% responsibility for everything, giving 100% in your relationships, and saving a percentage of your money each month. If you're looking for a book that largely focuses on finding successful relationships, stay tuned for our #1 suggestion. The Compound Effect has been widely and wildly praised by the likes of David Bach, financial expert and best-selling author of The Automatic Millionaire, Donnie Douche, the TV host and chairman of Douche Inc., and Mark Hansen, co-creator of Chicken Soup for the Soul. At #2, we have The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. At #2, we have this timely classic by Stephen R. Covey. Since its publication in 1989, it has sold over 40 million copies. In fact, its audio version was the first non-fiction audiobook in US history to sell over 1 million copies. It was also named the #1 most influential business book of the 20th century. Let's get into it. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is full of big and grand advice, plus little gold nuggets of precious knowledge that will make you realize you've been living your life all wrong. First and foremost, Covey establishes 7 habits that lead to maximum efficiency and success. It's not just about work, he also shows you how to build healthy and wholesome relationships, and how those affect your other ventures. It's a fresh perspective that focuses on changing your behavior and attitude for the better, in order to adapt your inner character and aspirations. The basic gist of the 7 iconic habits is that the first 3 habits talk about integrity, the next 3 delve deeper into loyalty, while the last talks about growth. Eventually, Covey aims that not only will his readers grow from codependence into independence, then ascend into what he calls interdependence, which involves realizing you are an independent person, but knowing that working with others can also be greatly beneficial. And at #1 is the incredible How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. At #1 is the all-time most successful popular self-help book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by the master of business himself, Dale Carnegie. If you have any doubts about this book, remember that Warren Buffett, aka one of the richest people in the world, credits his astronomical success to these principles and Carnegie's business school. For a book published in 1936, it's still massively popular. It's sold over 30 million copies worldwide and continues to sell 250,000 copies a year, making it one of the best-selling books in history. The amazing thing about this book is that it advises you on things you've been afraid to ask and make you realize something that you've been doing wrong. It features 6 ways to make people like you, including advice to make friends and make you a better conversationalist and speaker. And it details 12 ways to win people to your way of thinking, which is greatly beneficial to increase your influence and improve your salesmanship. Lastly, Carnegie lays out the 9 ways to change people without arousing resentment. Think about this. Almost a century has passed since this book's publication, and it's still relevant to this day. For everyone who's ever had issues making friends or getting along with business people, this is a must-read. You know what? Everyone should just read this book at least once in their lifetime. That ends the top books to read on success. If you got value from this video, please give it a like and share it with someone that would benefit. Are there some books we missed that should have made the list? Drop the titles in the comments below. You can listen to any of the books on our list today on Audible. See the links to each of the books in our list in the description below. See you next time for some top books.